I'm Diane Porter, 33 years old, and I'm sitting in my car under pounding rain, staring at a screenshot that just shattered my entire world. My phone is buzzing with a message from Tara, my college friend I haven't spoken to in years. The image on my screen shows my husband Chase's face, smiling that same charming smile he gives everyone at church. But this isn't a church photo. It's a dating app profile. His tagline reads, "Looking for someone who knows how to listen." My breath catches in my throat as I scroll down. His About Me section makes my stomach drop. "Trapped in a loveless marriage," it says. My hands are trembling so badly I can barely hold the phone. The rain pounds against my windshield like it's trying to drown out my thoughts, but nothing can silence the single question screaming in my head. "So this is who you really are, Chase. This is who you've been all along." I don't cry. I don't scream. I just sit there in that parking lot, feeling something shift inside me. Something cold and clear and utterly calm. Let me back up and tell you how I got here. My name is Diane Porter, and for the past 8 years, I've been living what everyone calls the perfect life. I work as a project coordinator at a small publishing house downtown. It's steady work, nothing glamorous, but I like the quiet routine of it. My husband Chase is 35, 2 years older than me, and he's everything a small-town community could want in a leader. He's charming, confident, always knows exactly what to say to make people feel seen. He leads worship at our church every Sunday, and people absolutely adore him. On paper, we're the fellowship couple everyone aspires to be, but paper can hide a lot of emptiness. Our house is beautiful, decorated with the kind of neutral colors that belong in magazines. Everything looks perfect because Chase insists on it. He says image matters, especially for someone in his position. I've learned not to argue about things like that anymore. It's easier to just smile and agree. Sunday mornings have become a performance I've perfected over the years. Chase stands at the front of our church, guitar in hand, leading 300 people in worship. His voice fills the sanctuary, strong and sure, and I watch from the third row where I always sit. People turn to smile at me during services, giving me that look that says how blessed I must be. After the final song, Chase steps down and parishioners crowd around him. They shake his hand, thank him for his leadership, tell him how much his ministry means to them. I stand beside him with my hands folded, wearing my Sunday best and my Sunday smile. He reaches over and squeezes my shoulder, pulling me close for the watching crowd. To everyone else, it looks like affection. To me, it feels like I'm part of his costume. Another prop in the image he's so carefully constructed. Nobody sees the way his smile doesn't quite reach his eyes when he looks at me. At home, the performance ends. The drive back from church is silent except for the radio playing softly between us. Chase scrolls through his phone, responding to messages and checking social media. I ask if he wants chicken or pasta for dinner. He doesn't look up. "Whatever," he says, his thumb still moving across the screen. I catch his reflection in the window, and I see it. That small smile, the kind that appears when someone sends you something that makes you happy. But he's not smiling at me. He hasn't smiled at me like that in months, maybe years. "Who's texting you?" I ask, trying to keep my voice casual. "Just work stuff," he says quickly, turning his phone face down on his lap. "Ministry things." The lie comes so easily to him. I wonder how long he's been practicing. I don't push it. I've learned that pushing Chase only makes him withdraw further, and the distance between us is already so vast I'm not sure we could cross it even if we tried. Tuesday evening, my phone lights up with a message from a name I haven't seen in years. Tara Reynolds. We were roommates freshman year of college, close friends until life took us in different directions. She moved to Denver for work. I stayed here and got married. We exchanged Christmas cards for a while, but even that faded. Seeing her name on my screen feels like a message from another lifetime. "Hey, Diane," her text reads. "Long time no talk. How have you been?" We chat for a few minutes, catching up on surface-level things. She's working in marketing now, still single. I love hiking. Then her messages pause for a long moment. When the next text comes through, my entire world tilts. "Diane, this might sound really weird, but I think your husband just matched with me on a dating app. I'm not sure if it's him, but the photos look exactly like the guy from your wedding photos you used to have on Facebook. Is everything okay?" I spent that entire night on the phone with Tara, both of us staring at Chase's dating profile. She shares her screen with me, and I analyze every single detail like I'm studying evidence at a crime scene. His profile photo is recent, taken at some church event from the angle and lighting. He's wearing that blue shirt I bought him for Christmas. In his bio, he lists himself as single. I am 35 years old, looking for someone genuine who understands him. About me section is what destroys me. I'm passionate about music and ministry, but I'm trapped in a loveless marriage with someone who doesn't understand what I need, looking for a real connection with someone who actually listens. Tara's voice shakes when she reads it out loud. Diane, I'm so sorry. I thought you should know. I'm laughing, but there are tears streaming down my face. The combination feels insane. Thank you for telling me, I managed to say. Don't be sorry. You didn't do anything wrong. I don't confront Chase. Every instinct tells me to march into our bedroom right now and throw the evidence in his face, but something stops me. Maybe it's the years of being told I'm too emotional, too sensitive, too much. Maybe it's the knowledge that Chase is a master at talking his way out of things, at making me feel like I'm the one misunderstanding the situation. Or maybe it's something colder and clearer than anger. If I'm going to lose everything, and it feels like I already have, then I'm going to lose it on my terms. I'm going to control how this ends. So instead of confronting him, I watch. I observe the way he acts around me, looking for the signs I missed before. They're everywhere. The way he angles his phone away when I walk by, the sudden interest in working late, the shower he takes the moment he gets home, like he's washing something off. Tara sent me a message Wednesday morning. He just sent me another message. What do you want me to do? I stare at her text for a long moment, then type back. Keep talking to him. I need to know how far he'll take this. She's hesitant at first. Uncomfortable with the deception, but I explain that I need evidence. I need to see the full picture of who my husband really is when he thinks nobody's watching. So Tara continues chatting with Chase under her profile. She tells me everything. He flirts openly, sending good morning texts and asking about her day. He complains about his fictional unhappy home life. He suggests meeting for coffee. Each message she forwards to me feels like a small cut, but I don't flinch. I save every screenshot, organizing them in a folder on my laptop labeled Chase Evidence. At night, while he sleeps beside me, I lie awake wondering if I ever really knew him at all, or if this stranger in my bed was always who he was. Sunday comes again, and Chase delivers a sermon about loyalty and commitment. The theme is staying faithful through difficult seasons, trusting God with your relationships, being the kind of person your spouse can depend on. The irony is so sharp I can taste it like blood in my mouth. He stands at that podium with his Bible open, his voice full of conviction, and he preaches about the sanctity of marriage. Everyone nods along, taking notes, saying Amen. Afterward, people thank him for such a powerful message. One woman with tears in her eyes tells him his words about commitment really spoke to her marriage. Chase smiles humbly and says he's just sharing what God has laid on his heart. Then he walks over to me and kisses my cheek in front of everyone. Love you, he whispers, just loud enough for nearby people to hear. I force myself to smile and whisper back, you really are convincing. Monday afternoon, I do something I've never done before. I opened a separate bank account in my name. I transfer a small amount each week, nothing large enough to raise questions, but enough to start building my own safety net. I make copies of our financial documents, our mortgage papers, our tax returns. I photograph the deed to our house and the titles to both cars. I'm preparing for something, though I'm not entirely sure what yet. All I know is that I can't depend on Chase anymore. I can't trust that he'll take care of me, or be honest with me, or keep any of the promises he made 8 years ago. My calm surprises even me. When I look in the mirror, I barely recognize the woman staring back. She looks composed, methodical, like she's planned this all along. Maybe some part of me has. Maybe I've been preparing for this ending since the first time I felt truly invisible in my own marriage. I confide in one person at church. Her name is Marilyn, a widow in her 60s who's known for her wisdom and discretion. We have coffee Tuesday morning at a quiet cafe downtown. I tell her everything. The dating profile, the messages, the lies. She listens without interrupting, her weathered hands wrapped around her coffee cup. When I finish, she's quiet for a long moment. Then she says something I'll never forget. Let him think he's the only one with secrets, Diane. People like Chase believe they're smarter than everyone else. That arrogance will be his undoing. She reaches across the table and squeezes my hand. You're stronger than you know, and when the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. Her confidence in me feels like a lifeline. For the first time in years, someone sees me as more than just Chase's wife. She sees me as someone capable of saving myself. Thursday night, Chase announces he's going on a men's ministry retreat this weekend. 3 days in the mountains with other church leaders, focusing on spiritual renewal and brotherhood. He shows me the flyer, tells me he'll be mostly off-grid, and explains that this retreat is important for his leadership development. I nod and tell him it sounds wonderful, that I hope he gets a lot out of it. What I don't tell him is that Tara already warned me. Chase asked her to meet him this weekend. He's planning to drive 3 hours to Denver to spend time with the woman he thinks is a stranger he met on a dating app. He has no idea he's walking directly into a trap. Tara is nervous, but I assure her she'll be safe. I gave her my private investigator's number, someone Marilyn recommended. He'll be nearby the entire time, documenting everything. Photographs, video, audio recordings. I want every moment captured. Chase leaves Friday morning with his duffel bag and his Bible, kissing my forehead and promising to call when he can. I watch him drive away, then I sit down at my kitchen table and wait for Tara's updates. They meet Saturday afternoon at a coffee shop in downtown Denver. Tara records their entire conversation on her phone hidden in her purse. Chase is charming, attentive, everything he used to be with me once upon a time. He tells her about his toxic marriage, how his wife doesn't understand his calling, how he feels trapped. He reaches across the table and takes her hand. "I've been waiting to meet someone like you," he says. "Someone who actually sees me." The private investigator captures it all from a table nearby. Photos of Chase holding Tara's hand, leaning in close, smiling in a way I haven't seen in years. That night, they had dinner together. Chase pays with our joint credit card. The receipts will make excellent evidence. He comes home Sunday evening glowing. He sets his bag down, wraps me in a hug, and tells me the retreat was exactly what he needed. "I feel rejuvenated," he says, his eyes bright. "God really moved this weekend. I feel like I can see things more clearly now." I smile and tell him I'm glad that I can see the difference in him. I ask about the other men who attended, and he invents names and stories without hesitation. The lies flow from his mouth like water, smooth and effortless. I serve him dinner and listen to him talk about his fictional spiritual breakthroughs. Later, in bed, he falls asleep within minutes, peaceful and content. I lie awake beside him, staring at the ceiling, feeling absolutely nothing. The man I married doesn't exist. Maybe he never did. This stranger wearing his face is all that's left. The following Sunday, Chase gives his testimony during service. He stands before the congregation and talks about his weekend retreat, about how God restored his spirit and renewed his purpose. People are moved by his vulnerability, his authenticity. Several men approach him afterward, asking about attending the next retreat. Chase handles it perfectly, saying he'll get them information. He references conversations with leaders who don't exist. He quotes moments that never happened. I stand beside him through it all, watching our church community embrace him, love him, trust him. My internal voice whispers, "Let them." Because soon, very soon, they'll see exactly who they've been worshiping. And the fall from that pedestal is going to shatter him completely. I can wait. I've been waiting for years already. What's a few more weeks? Late at night, while Chase sleeps, I sit at my laptop compiling everything. Screenshots of his dating profile organized by date. Messages he sent to Tara, each one more damning than the last. Photos from their Denver meeting, time-stamped and geotagged. Credit card receipts from restaurants and hotels. Voice recordings where he complains about me, insults me, plans his future with someone else. The evidence folder glows on my screen like a confession from hell itself. I've built an airtight case against my own husband. Every detail documented, every lie exposed, every moment of betrayal captured in high definition. I should feel something. Anger, sadness, vindication. Instead, I just feel cold and clear-headed. This is what justice looks like when you build it yourself, piece by careful piece. When you refuse to be the victim and decide to become the architect of your own ending. Tara calls me Tuesday evening, her voice uneasy. "Diane, are you sure you want to keep doing this? Chase is still messaging me. He wants to meet again. This is getting really complicated." I understand her hesitation. This situation has consumed weeks of her life, pulled her into my marriage's collapse. "I know this is hard," I tell her, "but I need you to trust me just a little longer. He built this lie. I'm just letting it collapse under its own weight." There's a long pause, then she sighs. "Okay, I trust you. Just tell me what you need me to do." What I need is simple. I need her at our church fellowship night next month. I need her to walk through those doors and stand in front of everyone while Chase is preaching. The timing has to be perfect. The audience has to be exactly right. Because when this ends, it needs to end in a way that makes the truth impossible to deny. Chase invites our pastor and church elders for dinner at our house Saturday evening. He wants to impress them, to solidify his position as a leader in our community. I spent the day cooking, setting the table, and playing the perfect hostess. During dinner, the men discuss church business, upcoming events, and community outreach programs. Chase dominates the conversation, his charisma filling our dining room. Everyone laughs at his jokes and nods at his suggestions. I serve dessert and coffee, smiling pleasantly. Then, as I'm refilling glasses, I ask casually, "Honey, why don't you tell them about your new friend from the retreat, the one you connected with so deeply?" The table goes quiet. Chase's fork freezes halfway to his mouth. Our pastor looks at him with interest. "I didn't know you made a close connection there. That's wonderful." Chase recovers quickly, laughing it off. "Diane misunderstood something I mentioned, just church networking stuff. But I see it." That flash of panic in his eyes. The church announces their upcoming fellowship night 2 weeks away. Chase is scheduled to lead it, giving a talk about truth and renewal in Christian marriage. The irony isn't lost on anyone paying attention. Marilyn catches my eye during the announcement and gives me a small, knowing nod. "That's your stage," she tells me quietly afterward. "Everything you've prepared for leads to that moment." I go home and look at the calendar. 2 weeks to finalize everything. 2 weeks to make sure every piece is in place. 2 weeks until my husband's carefully constructed world collapses in front of everyone who's ever believed in him. I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I'm just ready. Ready to stop pretending. Ready to stop protecting someone who never protected me. Ready to walk away from this marriage with my head held high, knowing I did everything possible to save it before choosing to save myself instead. The night before fellowship, I prepare in silence. I choose my outfit carefully, nothing flashy or dramatic. Simple black dress, minimal jewelry, comfortable shoes. I need to look composed, not vengeful. I pack my evidence folder in my purse along with a flash drive containing everything. I look at our wedding photo on the mantle, the two of us young and smiling, and I feel absolutely nothing. That girl doesn't exist anymore. She disappeared somewhere between the first lie and the 1,000th. Between the first time she felt invisible and the last time she begged for attention. Chase finds me in our bedroom, asks if I'm okay. I smile and tell him I'm just tired, that I'm looking forward to his talk tomorrow night. He kisses my forehead absently and goes back to preparing his sermon notes. Neither of us sleeps much, but for very different reasons. Fellowship night arrives. The church fellowship hall is packed, over 200 people filling the chairs. Chase stands at the podium looking confident and polished in his best suit. The lights catch his smile as he welcomes everyone, making jokes, putting people at ease. He's a natural performer. He begins his talk about truth and renewal in marriage, about the importance of honesty and communication. His voice fills the room, strong and certain. "Marriage is built on trust," he says, his hand resting on his Bible. "When we lie to our spouses, we're not just breaking their trust. We're breaking the covenant we made before God." People nod along. Several women wipe their eyes, moved by his words. I sit in the back row, completely still, watching him perform, watching everyone believe him. Marilyn sits beside me, her hand resting gently on my shoulder. "Any minute now," she whispers. I just nod. It's almost time. The door at the back of the fellowship hall opens. Every head turns. Tara walks in, her heels clicking against the floor in the sudden silence. She's wearing the same dress from the photos, the one Chase complimented when they met. Her head is high, her expression calm. Chase's voice falters mid-sentence. His face drains of color. He stammers something about continuing in a moment, but Tara's voice cuts through the confused murmuring. "Should I tell them what you said about your loveless marriage, Chase?" The room erupts in gasps. People turn to look at me, then back at Tara, then at Chase. Our pastor stands up from his front row seat, clearly confused. "What's going on here?" Chase tries to speak, his mouth opening and closing, but no coherent words come out. He looks like a man drowning in front of an audience that suddenly isn't sure whether to save him or let him sink. Tara pulls out her phone. Tara reads the messages aloud, her voice steady and clear. Every word Chase sent her, every complaint about me, every lie about his life, every promise he made to someone who wasn't his wife. The room is dead silent except for her voice. People stare at Chase in shock. Some women cover their mouths. Men shift uncomfortably in their seats. Marilyn crosses her arms and watches, her expression unreadable. Our pastor's face has gone gray. Chase finally finds his voice, loud and desperate. This is fake. Someone created fake accounts. This woman is lying. I don't even know who she is. But Tara is ready. She shows the photos from their Denver meeting, time-stamped and geotagged. She plays audio clips of their conversations. She holds up credit card receipts with his signature. The evidence is overwhelming, undeniable. People start whispering, the sound growing like a wave. Chase looks around wildly, searching for someone who might believe him. Then his eyes land on me. I stand slowly and the room goes quiet again. Everyone watches as I walk down the center aisle toward my husband. My heels echo in the silence. When I reach the front, I stop a few feet from the podium and look at Chase. Really look at him. This man I've shared a bed with for 8 years. This man I trusted with my heart and my future. This stranger who's been lying to my face for God knows how long. You don't have to believe her, I say quietly, but my voice carries in the silent room. Just check his phone. The dating app is probably still on there. Look at his messages. Check his location history from 2 weekends ago. Chase's hand instinctively moves toward his pocket, then stops. He knows he's caught. There's no talk his way out of this, no charm that can save him now. His carefully constructed image is crumbling in real time, and everyone is watching it happen. Our pastor stands and reaches out his hand. Chase, let me see your phone. I don't stay to watch Chase hand over his phone. I don't need to see the pastor's face when he finds the evidence. I don't need to hear the congregation's reactions or Chase's desperate explanations. I've already seen everything I need to see. I turn to face the stunned crowd, 200 people who thought they knew me, thought they knew my marriage. Thank you all for your prayers over the years, I say, my voice calm and clear. I'll need them now more than ever. Then I walk toward the back door. The crowd parts for me like water, people stepping aside, some reaching out to touch my arm as I pass. I hear Chase calling my name behind me, his voice cracking, but I don't turn around. Marilyn and Tara fall into step beside me as I walk out into the cool night air. The door closes behind us, muffling the chaos inside. I take a deep breath. For the first time in years, it feels like I can actually breathe. 3 months later, I'm sitting in my new apartment in the next town over. It's small, just a 1-bedroom, but it's mine. Completely mine. The divorce papers are filed. Chase lost his ministry position within a week of that fellowship night. The church leadership asked him to step down while they investigated the situation, but everyone knew what that meant. His reputation in our community is destroyed, not by me, but by his own choices finally catching up with him. I've started attending a new church, smaller and quieter. Nobody knows my story there, and that's exactly how I want it. Tara visits occasionally, becoming a real friend again instead of just a co-conspirator. Marilyn sends me letters filled with encouragement and wisdom. I'm learning who I am outside of being Chase's wife, and it's both terrifying and liberating. People ask me sometimes if I feel guilty about how it ended, about exposing him so publicly. The truth is, I don't. Revenge isn't fire that burns hot and destructive. It's the cold, clear peace that comes from finally stopping the lies. I didn't destroy Chase. I just stopped covering for him. And that's the difference. That's what I'll carry forward. The knowledge that I'm strong enough to save myself, that I don't need anyone's permission to walk away from something that's killing me slowly. Chase made his choices. I just made sure everyone else could see them as clearly as I finally did. And now I'm free.